Thank you, Ross. With summer upon us, you might be planning to take part in a number of outdoor activities to mark the season. Your calendar of events might include rock climbing, zip lining, or water skiing. And maybe you're part of a sports league or an organized walk or run. Well, whatever your itinerary includes, this summer it's important to know what you can do on and off the courts if you get hurt. And here to talk about that is Philp from Preszler Law. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
So this had more to do about not where you're playing the sport, but what sport you're playing.
Well, that's exactly it. And if you're injured in a sport, it really depends on the type of sport you're playing. There's what's called implied consent. So if you're playing badminton versus hockey, there's an expectation in hockey that there could be some violence, there could be some, maybe a little bit of a scuffle or a fight on the ice versus, something like badminton where,
right,
you don't expect something like that.
So in other words, if I'm playing hockey and someone punches me in the face and I lose a tooth, tough luck?
Well, essentially, because there's an expectation in hockey that there's going to be a little bit of a scuffle. Mm-hmm. But, for example, there's a case a few years ago where a fight broke out on the ice, and one gentleman punched the other guy, and in retaliation, the guy who got punched took his stick and popped him over the head. And the gentleman who was hit in the head, yep, turned around and sued this guy. And the court found that the actions of the gentleman who hit the person on the head went beyond the normal expectation, right, beyond this implied consent that you would normally have in a game of hockey.
Okay, so regardless of whether you've signed anything or anything like that?
Well, in most sports nowadays, be it hockey or be it, if you're going for one of these rides down the DVP for charity, yep, you're expected to sign what's called a waiver. Mm-hmm. Now, a waiver is essentially you signing away your right to sue someone if you're injured in that activity. Mm-hmm. Now, waivers sometimes can be enforced, but a lot of the times you can get around a waiver if you're injured in a sport. I'll give you an example. A few years back, there was one of these Ride for the Hearts down the DVP, and one of the riders was getting into the draft of a line of bicycles. Mm-hmm. And suddenly, one of these bicycles just made an unexpected movement into this person's path, and this person was seriously injured as a result. And that person sued the person who made that unexpected movement. Now, this person had signed a waiver, right, and there was an expectation that if you sign that waiver, you can't sue anyone who, right, is in this race. Well, the court found that because the waiver was not clear, because it was not drafted properly, that it was not applicable in those circumstances.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Philp from Preszler Law. And if you have any questions about personal injury for John and his team at Preszler, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/morningshowtl. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.